Hey guys, G-Money here, and sitting here with Metal Hog, trying to come up with the new script to the next video.
More like he's drawing pictures of monkeys.
Yeah, so basically, right now, while listening to some awesome video game music, I'm trying to write a review for Donkey
Hold it.
What?
Why the fuck are you listening to video game music?
Because video game music is good?
But that's not real music.
What do you mean it's not real music? I'm listening to it. It's so beautiful. Where's this coming from? We do a video game show for a living. Okay, yeah, it's not for a living, but still, we do a video game show. You should at least admire some video game music.
It just sounds like beep beep boop to me.
You know what? On this episode of Gaming Corner, we're going to talk about why you should listen to video game music.
You're really gonna cry about video game music.
Fuck you! Was that a clever way to say fuck you to Metal Hog this time?
Not really.
Fuck you! Whenever I tell anybody I listen to video game music, it's usually one of two reactions. Number one, they usually just brush it off, accepting that I like stuff different than them. Or two, they're a dick about it. They try and push me. They say, hey, why do you listen to that crap? It's not real music. It's electronic music. It's not made with instruments. It's not done with this. I legit had a guy who thought video game music was bad because the video game music came out of a smaller speaker. What? It seems like a lot of people have this very horrible idea about video game music that shouldn't be accepted in today's standards. Sure, maybe back in the 1980s when video games were barely out, they were pixels and everything, maybe some tracks were okay and most of them were garbage. But this is 2018. We got God of War. We got Super Mario Odyssey. We have so many video games to pick our music from. And the fact that people think that video game music still to this day sucks, that's just false. Another thing I hear is that a lot of people don't think that video game music has a lot of passion behind it. Which is the stupidest statement of the year, because every piece of music has some form of passion around it. You can't just say that video game music doesn't have passion behind it just because it's made by a company. It's not made by specifically the company. It's produced by the company. It has to be composed by a certain somebody. It has to be written. Like, for example, Koji Kondo. He worked on a lot of Nintendo's video games, and his music sounds like art. I'm sorry, if you tell me that Koji Kondo sucks, you have no soul. And lastly, a lot of people think that video game music is just this 8-bit techno music that sounds weird and you can only play it at a club. When in reality, it's actually the most fluid type of music ever. We have happy tracks, sad tracks, symphonies, 8-bit styles. We have everything in the fucking book, but yet everybody likes to think it's just this one type of music that nobody can listen to because it's so straining on the ear. Another thing people like to tell me about video game music is that it's emotionless, that nobody can really listen to it and have this kind of reaction to it that they can have from today's songs. Cause yeah, every song in 2018 and 17 and 16 is way better than anything made in the past 30 years by video games.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Spread their racks on new chain. My bitch love doing cocaine.
I swear to God, I've heard the song 20 times. I still don't know what the fuck he's saying. A lot of these arguments are just put out by ignorant people that don't want to give any type of music a chance. It really annoys me. And I think that's what I'm going to try and do with this video. I'm going to try and persuade you into liking video game music with whatever means I can. Now listen, video game music has evolved since its last iteration. From being 8-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit to 64-bit to up to what now, 360-bit? It's grown, and nowadays you could just have full-on orchestras inside your video game if you honestly wanted to. But not a lot of music compares to what the old days had. Cause sure, the old days had limitations, but those limitations also brought out some of the best music I've ever heard in my life. An example of a game that had very big limitations on it, but was still able to give out one of the best soundtracks ever, Donkey Kong Country. Yes, I know I'm gonna be making a video about this soon, but for real though, this video game had so many limitations. They had to take the 3D models and take pictures of them frame by frame just to get them inside this cartridge. But the music sounds so beautiful and made to perfection. Every note in this song has so much emotion that you could really just feel. I mean, listen to this. And it just doesn't stop at old video games too. There's a bunch of new video games that have some of the best soundtracks I've heard in a while. Take for example Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey has this amazing soundtrack with even 2 written lyric singles. It's amazing. There's at least 100 songs in here, and every song has some kind of peppy, wonderful step to it. Even the ones that are meant to be kind of dark and brooding, you can just feel this passion that all these composers have to convey these emotions during their beautiful game. Another game that came out recently this year that has the most amazing soundtrack is Celeste. Celeste is this amazing platformer with all these great songs in it. Sure, not all of them are great, but there are a bunch of good ones. Like, here's a couple of them right now. I love Celeste's music so much that I actually bought some music from the artist, Lena Raine. Her music is beautiful. Not just the ones she made for Celeste, but the ones she just makes regular for other games. It's honestly some of the best music I've heard in a while. The game itself is about self-battles and depression, and to be honest, these songs convey exactly that. A war in yourself, or maybe even just a feeling of emptiness, aloneness, maybe this feeling of solitary. Lena Raine, if you're actually watching this video, which you're probably not, I only spent $1 on the grab bag because I'm a high school student who doesn't make a lot of money, so sorry. Love you. And now I hope you see my point, that video game music isn't just this stupid techno music, it's actually this beautiful work of everything a video game has to offer. And even without the video game, it still is very, very good music to listen to. Well, in conclusion, video game music is a form of music that should be enjoyed by every single person on this earth. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to listen to the Donkey Kong Country 2 OST to get ready for next month's review. Seriously though, if you honestly think that video game music right now, after watching this video, is still not a good form of music to listen to, you, my friend, are the most stupidest person I've ever had the pleasure to meet.
Money on my motherfucking mind. Cut 5 haircuts at the same time. White gold pants, jet ski, made a wine. Foie gras bust of Albert Einstein. Get money.